Think your hometown has history? Perhaps it boasts a building a century or two old, a street named for a long-forgotten founder. It's a comforting thought, a connection to the past. But these ancient cities will put that notion to rest. Here, the story of humanity is not measured in centuries, but in millennia. Most of our modern metropolises, our New Yorks, our Sydneys, our São Paulos, are mere infants on the timeline of urban life, their foundations laid only a few hundred years ago. The cities we are about to visit have been continuously inhabited for thousands upon thousands of years, their stones echoing with the footfalls of countless generations. These are not silent ruins, not simply archaeological sites cordoned off for study. They are living, breathing organisms where the rhythms of modern life play out against a backdrop of unimaginable antiquity. Children play in squares where ancient philosophers once debated. Merchants hawk their wares in markets that have thrived since the dawn of trade. And families make their homes within walls that have withstood the rise and fall of empires. The past is not a separate, distant country here. It is woven into the very fabric of the present, a constant, tangible presence in the air, the water, and the stone. So, I invite you to join me on an extraordinary journey. We will travel across continents and through the deepest corridors of time, not as mere tourists, but as witnesses to the incredible resilience of the human spirit. We will explore the places where civilization first took root and continues to blossom against all odds. Pack your curiosity and walking shoes, for we are about to tread on ground hallowed by history itself, to explore the oldest, most enduring cities on our planet. Our journey begins here, in the Jordan Valley, under the watchful gaze of the Judean mountains. This is Jericho, a name that resonates through the annals of history. It is widely considered the oldest continuously inhabited city on Earth, a testament to human tenacity. Archaeological evidence suggests human habitation in this very area, stretching back an astonishing 11,000 years. It was here, in this sun-drenched oasis, that some of the very first hunter-gatherers decided to settle, to cultivate the land, and to build a permanent home. The rich alluvial soils, fed by the Ain Sultan Spring, provided the perfect cradle for this nascent community to flourish. What we see today is a city built upon layers of its former selves. Beneath the modern streets lie the tells, the mounds created by millennia of human settlement, each layer a chapter in a story of immense length. But what truly sets ancient Jericho apart is a remarkable feat of engineering, a structure that speaks volumes about the dawn of organized society. Around 9000 BC, its inhabitants constructed a formidable stone wall, over 3.5 meters high and nearly 2 meters thick. This wasn't merely a barrier against floods, it was a statement of permanence, of community, and of defense. This structure, the Wall of Jericho, is considered the world's first known protective wall, predating the pyramids of Egypt by thousands of years. It was accompanied by a massive stone tower, its purpose still debated by scholars, a watchtower, a ceremonial site, a symbol of power. Whatever its function, it represents a monumental leap in human cooperation and architectural ambition. The people of Jericho were not just surviving, they were planning, organizing, and building for the future, laying the groundwork for the very concept of a city. To walk through Jericho today is to feel the immense weight and wonder of this legacy. The ancient spring still flows, a life-giving source just as it was for those first settlers. While the modern city pulses with its own rhythm, the silent stones of the ancient tell are a profound reminder that here, in this small corner of the West Bank, the great human experiment of urban living first began. It is a place of beginnings, the genesis of the walled city, and a powerful symbol of our species' enduring drive to create a safe and lasting home. We travel north, into Syria, to a city whose name has become synonymous with both immense suffering and indomitable resilience, Aleppo. For at least 7,000 years, this metropolis has been a vibrant center of human activity, its strategic location making it a coveted prize for a succession of empires. Poised perfectly between the Mediterranean Sea and the Euphrates River, it was a vital nexus point, a place where cultures, ideas, and goods converged. Its history is a long and often turbulent saga of conquest and rebirth, a story etched into every stone of its ancient citadel. The Golden Age of Aleppo was intrinsically linked to the legendary Silk Road. For centuries, it was one of the most important trading hubs in the world, the final destination for caravans that had trekked thousands of miles across the deserts and mountains of Asia. In its sprawling, covered souks, the air was thick with the scent of exotic spices, the glint of silk, and the babble of a dozen languages. Merchants from Venice and Genoa haggled with traders from Persia and India, making Aleppo a melting pot of cultures and a center of immense wealth and sophistication. Its grand mosques, caravanserais, and bathhouses were the envy of the region. The heart of the city has always been its magnificent citadel, a colossal medieval fortress perched atop a massive, partially natural hill. This acropolis has been a military stronghold for millennia, occupied by Hittites, Assyrians, Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, and a long line of Islamic dynasties. Its imposing gateway and towering walls have witnessed countless sieges and battles. To walk its ramparts is to trace the footsteps of soldiers and kings, to look out over a city that has been shaped and reshaped by the tides of history, a silent observer of the ebb and flow of human conflict and ambition. Even in the face of modern conflict and devastating earthquakes, the spirit of Aleppo endures. Its people, heirs to this extraordinary legacy, have demonstrated a resilience that is almost beyond comprehension. They continue to rebuild, to trade, to live amidst the grandeur and the scars of their city's past. Aleppo is a stark and powerful reminder that a city is more than just its buildings. It is the unbreakable spirit of its inhabitants, a spirit that has been forged in the crucible of history for 7 millennia and refuses to be extinguished. Our journey now takes us to the shores of the Mediterranean, to the Lebanese city of Jebail, known to the ancient world as Byblos. This charming coastal town, with its picturesque harbor and ancient ruins, holds a key to one of humanity's most important inventions. For over 7,000 years, people have lived and traded here, making it one of the oldest continuously inhabited port cities on the planet. Its story is inextricably linked with the sea and with the written word, a connection that has shaped the course of human communication. The name Byblos itself is a clue to its profound historical significance. The ancient Greeks, who traded extensively with the city, imported papyrus from Egypt through its bustling port. They called the papyrus scrolls biblos, and from that word we derive terms like bibliography and, most famously, Bible, the book. This city was the crucial middleman in the ancient world's paper trade, the conduit through which the raw material for writing and record-keeping flowed from the Nile Valley to the wider Mediterranean world. It was, in essence, the world's first great literary hub, but Byblos's contribution to writing goes even deeper. It was here, among the Phoenician traders and scribes who called this city home, that a revolutionary new system of writing emerged. Instead of the complex hieroglyphs of Egypt or the cuneiform of Mesopotamia, the Phoenicians developed a simple, elegant alphabet of just 22 consonant characters. This system, easily learned and adapted, was a triumph of efficiency. It spread rapidly through their vast trading network, eventually forming the basis for the Greek, Latin, and ultimately, most modern Western alphabets. Every time we write a letter, we are using a technology refined in ancient Byblos. Today, walking through Byblos is like moving through a physical timeline of civilization. Phoenician temples, a Roman colonnade, a Crusader castle, and Ottoman-era houses all stand in close proximity, testament to the many cultures that have left their mark. The ancient harbor, where Egyptian ships once docked to trade cedar for papyrus, is now filled with fishing boats and pleasure craft. It is a place where the foundational stories of our literate world are not confined to museums, but are part of the living landscape, whispering from the ancient stones by the sea. We arrive now in Greece, in the heart of the Peloponnese Peninsula, a land steeped in myth and legend. While Athens and Sparta often dominate the popular imagination of ancient Greece, the city of Argos has a claim that neither can match. It is the longest continuously inhabited city in all of Greece and one of the oldest in Europe, with an urban lineage stretching back an incredible 7,000 years. It was a powerful rival to Sparta, a major player in the ancient Greek world, and its story is one of remarkable endurance, surviving where many of its contemporaries faded into ruin. The history of Argos is written in layers beneath the modern city. Its name echoes through the Homeric epics. It was the kingdom of Diomedes, a hero of the Trojan War. The city's inhabitants, the Argives, were renowned for their artistic and martial prowess. For centuries, Argos vied for supremacy in the region, its fortunes rising and falling with the shifting alliances and conflicts of the Hellenic world. It outlasted the Mycenaean collapse, navigated the classical period, and was absorbed into the Roman Empire, all the while maintaining its identity and its people. One of the most impressive remnants of its glorious past is the ancient theater, one of the largest in all of Greece. Carved directly into the rock of the Larissa Hill, it could hold up to 20,000 spectators, a testament to the city's size and cultural importance. Here, the great tragedies and comedies were performed, the audience looking out over the plain that had sustained their ancestors for millennia. Nearby, the remains of the Agora, the Roman baths, and the sanctuary to Hera speak of a rich and complex civic life that spanned countless generations. Unlike the Acropolis in Athens, which stands as a monument apart from the city, the history of Argos is deeply integrated into the fabric of modern life. The new city is built directly over and around the old, creating a unique urban tapestry. A casual walk might take you past an exposed section of a Roman road, or the foundations of an ancient temple next to a modern cafe. Argos offers a different kind of historical experience. Less monumental perhaps, but more intimate. It is a quiet survivor, a city that has weathered the storms of 70 centuries and continues its long, unbroken story. Our journey takes us eastward into the heart of the Balkans, to Plovdiv in Bulgaria. Like Rome, this city was famously built upon 7 hills, though its history stretches back even further. With evidence of settlement dating back some 6,000 years, Plovdiv stands as one of Europe's most ancient and continuously inhabited urban centers. Its strategic position in the Thracian plain made it a crossroads for trade and conquest, a prize sought by a succession of powerful empires, each leaving its indelible mark on the city's character. The story of Plovdiv is a story of many names and many masters. To the Thracians, it was Eumolpius. When Philip II of Macedon, the father of Alexander the Great, conquered it, he renamed it Philippopolis. The Romans, who followed, called it Trimontium, the city of 3 hills, and transformed it into a major administrative center for the province of Thrace. Later came the Byzantines, the Bulgars, and the Ottomans, all of whom added their own architectural and cultural layers to this ever-evolving city. This rich, multicultural heritage is Plovdiv's defining feature. Perhaps the most spectacular legacy of its Roman past is the magnificent ancient amphitheater. Built in the 2nd century AD under Emperor Trajan, it is one of the best preserved in the world. Tucked away in a saddle between 2 of the city's hills, it was only rediscovered after a landslide in the 1970s. Today, it has been restored to its former glory and once again hosts concerts and plays, its ancient stones vibrating with music and drama, just as they did nearly 2 millennia ago. It is a breathtaking link between the city's imperial past and its vibrant present. Walking through Plovdiv's Old Town is a journey in itself. Its winding cobblestone streets are lined with colorful Bulgarian Renaissance-style houses, their upper floors jutting out over the narrow lanes. This district, perched atop the original 3 hills, is now a hub for artists and artisans, its historic buildings housing galleries, workshops, and bohemian cafes. There is a palpable creative energy here, a sense that Plovdiv is not just preserving its history, but actively using it as a canvas for its future. It is a city that wears its immense age with a youthful, artistic flair. We return to the Middle East, to a city that vies with Jericho and Aleppo for the title of the world's oldest Damascus. For at least 5,000 years, and possibly much longer, this city has been a beacon of civilization in the desert. Fed by the Barada River, it is a lush oasis that has captivated travelers, poets, and prophets for millennia. The Apostle Paul had his conversion on the road to Damascus, and the city holds a revered place in the Islamic world. Its name alone conjures images of fragrant gardens, bustling souks, and timeless courtyards. The heart of Damascus is its old city, a labyrinth of narrow, winding alleyways enclosed by ancient Roman walls. To step inside is to enter another world, a place where the clamor of modern traffic fades, replaced by the murmur of conversation and the call to prayer. This maze-like quarter is a living museum, where thousands of people continue to live and work in homes and shops that are centuries old. Exploring its hidden corners, one can stumble upon quiet courtyards with bubbling fountains, the scent of jasmine hanging heavy in the air, a scene unchanged for generations. At the very center of this ancient labyrinth stands the Umayyad Mosque, one of the largest and oldest mosques in the world. It is a site of immense spiritual and architectural importance, built on a spot that has been sacred for at least 3,000 years. Before the mosque, it was a Christian basilica dedicated to John the Baptist. Before that, a Roman temple to Jupiter, and even before that, an Aramean temple to Hadad. The layers of faith are tangible here. Inside, a shrine is still believed to contain the head of John the Baptist, revered by both Christians and Muslims. Damascus has long been celebrated for its master artisans, particularly its metalworkers, woodworkers, and weavers. The straight street, mentioned in the Bible, still runs through the old city, and its adjacent souks are a treasure trove of craftsmanship. Here, the rhythmic tapping of hammers on copper and the clatter of looms are the soundtrack of a tradition passed down through countless generations. Damascus is more than just an ancient settlement. It is a city of the soul, a place where history, faith, and artistry are woven together into a rich and deeply resonant tapestry of human experience. We travel south, down the lifeblood of Egypt, the Nile River, to a place that was once the epicenter of a mighty empire. This is Luxor, built on and around the site of ancient Thebes, the opulent capital of Egypt's New Kingdom pharaohs. While other cities on our list have woven their history into a modern urban fabric, Luxor's identity is utterly dominated by its past. It is often called the world's greatest open-air museum, and for good reason. Here, the scale and grandeur of ancient Egypt are on display like nowhere else on Earth. For centuries, from roughly 2200 BC onwards, Thebes was the religious and political heart of the pharaonic world. On the east bank of the Nile, the site of the rising sun, the city of the living thrived. Here, the pharaohs built two of the most magnificent temple complexes ever constructed, the Karnak Temple and the Luxor Temple. Karnak in particular is staggering in its scale. A vast complex of sanctuaries, pylons, and obelisks built and expanded over 2,000 years. Its great hypostyle hall, with its forest of 134 colossal columns, is an architectural marvel designed to humble all who enter. Across the river on the west bank lies the city of the dead. This was the great Theban necropolis, a sacred landscape dedicated to the afterlife. Tucked away in a desolate, sun-scorched valley is the Valley of the Kings, the secret burial place for the New Kingdom pharaohs, including the famous Tutankhamun. Nearby, in the Valley of the Queens, their consorts were laid to rest. Towering over this entire landscape are the two lonely colossi of Memnon, giant statues that once guarded a mortuary temple, now sitting as silent witnesses to 3,400 years of sunrises. What makes Luxor so unique is the way modern life unfolds in the shadow of this monumental past. Farmers tend their fields just as their ancestors did, their green crops a stark contrast to the sand-colored stone of the temples. The bustling modern town of Luxor, with its hotels, shops, and corniche along the Nile, coexists with these colossal ruins. Feluccas, the traditional sailboats of the Nile, glide past the Luxor temple at sunset. It is a place where the present seems almost fleeting, a thin veneer over a civilization whose power and ambition still resonate with awe-inspiring force. There is perhaps no city on earth that carries a greater weight of spiritual significance than our next destination, Jerusalem. For Jews, Christians, and Muslims, this is a holy city, a focal point of prayer, pilgrimage, and prophecy for millennia. Its history, dating back over 5,000 years, is a complex and often painful tapestry of faith, conflict, and devotion. The very stones of its old city seem saturated with prayer and steeped in the blood of conquerors and defenders. To walk its streets is to walk through the central narrative of the Abrahamic faiths. The Old City, a walled area of less than 1 square kilometer, is the heart of this spiritual intensity. Here, the sacred sites of 3 world religions exist in incredibly close and sometimes overlapping proximity. For Jews, the Western Wall, a remnant of the retaining wall of the Second Temple, is the most sacred place for prayer. For Christians, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre marks the site where Jesus is believed to have been crucified and resurrected. And for Muslims, the Dome of the Rock and Al-Aqsa Mosque on the Temple Mount, or Haram al-Sharif, mark the spot from which the Prophet Muhammad is said to have ascended to heaven. This dense concentration of holiness has made Jerusalem a coveted prize throughout history. It has been besieged, captured, destroyed, and rebuilt countless times by a litany of peoples: Canaanites, Israelites, Babylonians, Persians, Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, Arabs, Crusaders, Mamluks, Ottomans, and the British. Each has left a layer, architecturally and culturally, creating a city that is a bewildering and fascinating mosaic of the ages. The very ground beneath one's feet is a deep archive of human belief and conflict. Today, Jerusalem remains a vibrant living city, but one where the past is never far from the surface. The 4 quarters of the Old City, Jewish, Christian, Muslim, and Armenian, each have their own distinct character, yet their inhabitants' lives are intertwined in the narrow, bustling alleyways. The air is filled with a unique symphony: the chime of church bells, the Jewish call to prayer from a shofar, and the Islamic adhan from the minarets. Jerusalem is more than an ancient city. It is an enduring, powerful idea, a symbol of divine connection that continues to shape the world. We travel now to the Indian subcontinent, to the banks of the sacred river Ganges. Here lies Varanasi, also known as Kashi, the city of light. For Hindus, this is one of the holiest places on earth, a city believed to have been founded by the god Shiva himself. While its recorded history dates back nearly 4,000 years, its spiritual significance is considered timeless. To die here, on the banks of Mother Ganga, is to achieve moksha, liberation from the endless cycle of reincarnation. This belief infuses every aspect of life and death in this extraordinary city. The life of Varanasi is concentrated along its famous ghats, the long series of stone steps leading down to the water's edge. There are nearly 100 of these ghats, each with its own name and purpose. They are the stage for the most intimate and public rituals of human existence. At dawn, the city awakens to the sight of thousands of pilgrims descending the steps to perform their morning ablutions, offering prayers to the rising sun and submerging themselves in the holy water. It is a spectacle of profound devotion, a daily reaffirmation of faith that has been repeated for centuries. Further along the river bank are the burning ghats, most famously Manikarnika Ghat. Here, the sacred fires burn 24 hours a day, cremating the bodies of the faithful. While it may seem confronting to an outsider, for Hindus, this is a celebrated and sought-after conclusion to life's journey. The air is thick with smoke and the scent of sandalwood, and the atmosphere is not one of mourning, but of solemn, sacred passage. It is a stark and powerful reminder of the city's central role as a gateway between the earthly and the divine, a place where life's finality is openly embraced. Beyond the Ghats, Varanasi is a chaotic and captivating maze of narrow alleyways, or galis, too narrow for cars, filled with wandering cows, bustling shops, and ancient temples. There are said to be thousands of temples in Varanasi, many of them small, personal shrines tucked into the walls of buildings. The city is a sensory overload, a riot of color, sound, and smell. It is a place that challenges, inspires, and ultimately transforms the visitor. Varanasi is not simply a city to be seen. It is an experience to be absorbed, a deep dive into the heart of Hindu spirituality. Our journey takes us to the central plain of China, a region often considered the cradle of Chinese civilization. Here, at the confluence of the Luo and Yi rivers, lies the city of Luoyang. For over 3,600 years, this city has played a pivotal role in the nation's history. While not as famous today as Beijing or Shanghai, Luoyang holds a distinguished place in the Chinese chronicle, having served as the capital for no fewer than 13 different dynasties, a testament to its strategic and cultural importance over many centuries. Luoyang's golden ages saw it as the political, economic, and cultural heart of a vast empire. During the Eastern Han Dynasty, it was one of the largest cities in the world. It was here that the first Buddhist temple in China, the White Horse Temple, was established, marking the official introduction of Buddhism to the country. The city was a terminus of the Silk Road, a cosmopolitan hub where ideas and goods from Central Asia and beyond mingled with Chinese culture. Its imperial palaces were said to be magnificent, its society sophisticated and learned. Although the ancient imperial city has long since vanished, Luoyang's most awe-inspiring legacy is carved into the limestone cliffs along the Yi River. These are the Longmen Grottos, a UNESCO World Heritage Site of breathtaking scale and artistry. Over a period of 400 years, starting in the late 5th century AD, artisans carved more than 100,000 Buddhist statues into the rock face. The statues range from tiny, inch-high figures to the colossal Vairocana Buddha, which stands over 17 meters tall, its face a serene embodiment of divine wisdom and compassion. To wander through the grottos is to witness the incredible devotion and artistic skill of generations. The serene expressions on the faces of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have watched over the river valley for 1,500 years, surviving the fall of dynasties and the turmoil of history. Today, the modern city of Luoyang is a major industrial hub, but it lives alongside these profound reminders of its glorious imperial and spiritual past. It is a city that once stood at the center of the world, and its treasures continue to tell the story of China's magnificent heritage. We now travel to the westernmost edge of Europe, to a sliver of land extending into the Atlantic Ocean from the coast of Andalusia, Spain. This is Cadiz, a city with a luminous, salt-sprayed history. Founded by Phoenician sailors around 1100 BC, it is widely regarded as the oldest continuously inhabited city in Western Europe. Its original name was Gadir, meaning walled enclosure, and for over 3,000 years, its fortunes have been tied to the sea, to trade, and to the adventurers who sailed out from its harbor to explore the unknown. The Phoenicians, master mariners of the ancient world, established Cadiz as a crucial trading post for the silver and tin mined in the Iberian Peninsula. It was their foothold on the edge of the known world. Later, it became a prosperous Roman city, the birthplace of prominent figures like the writer Columella. The Romans built an aqueduct, an amphitheater, and temples, transforming the Phoenician port into a significant imperial outpost. Its wealth was legendary, its dancers famous throughout the empire. The city's strategic importance ensured its survival through Visigothic and Moorish rule. The city's second golden age arrived with the Age of Discovery, From this port, Christopher Columbus set sail on two of his voyages to the Americas. Cadiz became the home port of the Spanish treasure fleet, the point where the fabulous wealth of the New World, gold, silver, and precious goods, flowed into Europe. This immense prosperity is reflected in the city's architecture. Elegant 18th-century merchants' houses, defensive seawalls, and the magnificent golden domed cathedral that dominates the skyline, shining like a beacon for sailors returning from the sea. Today, Cadiz retains a unique, almost island-like character. Its old town is a charming maze of narrow streets that suddenly open onto sun-drenched plazas. The constant presence of the sea, the fresh Atlantic breeze, and the incredibly bright light give the city a vibrant, cheerful atmosphere. The ancient city walls, which once protected it from pirates and rival navies, are now a beautiful promenade for locals and visitors. Cadiz is a city that feels both ancient and alive, its Phoenician foundations supporting a lively culture that still looks outward to the endless ocean. For our final destination, we journey to the dense rainforests of northern Guatemala, to the shimmering waters of Lake Petén Itzá. Here, rising from the lake on a small island, is the vibrant town of Flores. While its colorful colonial-era buildings might seem relatively modern, they are built upon the foundations of a much older settlement. This was Nochpetén, the last independent capital of the Itza Maya people, a stronghold that resisted Spanish conquest for nearly 2 centuries after the rest of the region had fallen. Its history dates back to at least 900 BC. The Maya who settled here chose their location well. The island provided a natural fortress, a defensible citadel in the middle of the vast lake. For centuries, it was a significant political and ceremonial center, the heart of the Itza kingdom. While the great classical Maya cities like nearby Tikal were abandoned, Nochpetén endured, a final bastion of Maya culture and autonomy. The Spanish conquistador, Hernán Cortés, passed by in the 16th century, but chose not to attack the formidable island city. It wasn't until 1697 that the Spanish finally conquered it in a brutal amphibious assault. When the Spanish took the city, they did what they had done elsewhere. They destroyed the Maya temples and pyramids and built their own town on top of the ruins. A Catholic church now stands where the main pyramid once rose. However, the ghost of the Maya city remains. The very layout of modern Flores, with its narrow, concentric streets, is believed to follow the pattern of the ancient Maya settlement. As you walk its cobblestone lanes, you are tracing the contours of a lost city. Today, Flores is a picturesque and peaceful town, connected to the mainland by a short causeway. It serves as the primary gateway for visitors, exploring the monumental ruins of Tikal and other Maya sites hidden in the jungle. Yet the island itself is a living piece of history. Looking out from its shores across the vast, tranquil lake, one can almost imagine the canoes of Maya warriors patrolling its waters and the great pyramids of Nochpetén rising against the tropical sky. It is a powerful reminder of a resilient culture and the final, defiant chapter of the independent Maya world. From the first fortress walls of Jericho to the last Maya stronghold at Flores, we have journeyed through an immense sweep of human history. These cities are not relics. They are living testaments to our species' instinct to gather, to build, and to endure. To walk their streets is to feel the immense depth of time beneath your feet. In Varanasi, the smoke of funeral pyres mingles with the prayers of pilgrims, a ritual thousands of years old. In Cadiz, the Atlantic breeze that filled the sails of Columbus still blows through its plazas. The layers of life, of conquest, of faith, and of art are not just visible, they are palpable. These enduring cities challenge our own sense of time. They remind us that our modern world is built upon foundations laid by countless generations, on ideas forged in places like Byblos and on faith nurtured in Jerusalem. They show us that empires rise and fall, trade routes shift, and languages evolve. But the human need for community, for a place to call home, is constant. The resilience of Aleppo and the artistic spirit of Plovdiv are powerful messages of hope. proving that the heart of a city can continue to beat even through unimaginable hardship. I encourage you not just to learn about these places, but to one day experience them for yourself. Go and stand within the Roman amphitheater in Argos, listen to the echoes in the Longmen grottos, or watch the sunset over the Nile in Luxor. To visit these cities is to do more than see history. It is to feel it, to breathe it, and to become a momentary part of their impossibly long and ongoing story. They are the great living archives of our shared human journey, waiting to be read.